Tryna beat life cause I can't cheat death. 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 Tryna beat life cause I can't cheat death.
I did 17 years, homie. Real tears on these words, homie. Hitting staple only push-ups and hella top rhyming, hella notebooks with all my rhymes. It's like a map book from where I started. Ciphering, trying to be the hardest son of the yard. Some of the hardest rappers got a never day. We'll never hug their mama, we'll never see they sleep. I feel blessed, so I rock with my loved ones. I left behind good count times and cold lunch. Yeah, mama, I'm on one. I'm free, ain't no word to expressions. See my smile, that's real, no fake shit. You would too if you seen it, the moves was basic. Game made, heartbreak kid. Living in reality, mid 30 with some kid shit. Damn. They like 50 in they clip or better.
Cause I can't cheat, cause I can't beat life, cause I can't cheat death. Tryna beat life, cause I can't cheat death. Tryna beat life, cause I can't cheat death. Tryna beat life, cause I can't cheat death.
Death. Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Hey, the topic this morning is the preconceived notion between Africans in Africa and Africans in America. You game?
You say the what?
The topic is Africans in America versus the Africans in Africa, because it's been a preconceived notion that they don't like us. But there's an updated version of that notion that says they loving us.
Right.
So we need to figure out, like, where did that shit come from?
Right. I'm with it.
Alright, I'm sending you the link right now. Oh, you just woke up, huh?
Nah, I ain't been sleeping days.
Oh, well, nigga, shoot your shit.
Well, I mean, I slept yesterday, but shit, I didn't sleep last night. I'm in Lafayette right now.
Oh, good. Oh, man, I wish Lafayette was up.
He's right here about 6.
Ask Lafayette when he come on there live.
He ain't up yet.
Well,
He ain't up yet.
oh, by the time you done shooting your shit, he'd be surprised. Hey, come on.
We'll see. I'm gonna step out because he's still, he in the studio. He got a studio, so I'm gonna check on his patio or something.
All right, here go the link right now. I just sent it.
All right, one love.
Hey, I'm on right now though. You about to tap it?
About 5 minutes.
5 minutes. All right, I'm gonna shoot my shit. Did you see the link though?
You shot it. I got it.
All right, bet.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, bet. Hey, I ain't got too many homies that's qualified to even speak a little on this.
It's all good, brother.
Yes, sir. Don't.
I feel honored for sure.
Don't.
Go.
What's up with my peoples, man? Suwoo 916 said he looks hell this morning. Cali Connect, what is it, baby? What up, Dream now? End zone. So me and Dream was talking this morning, right? And we had and don't please, matter of fact, we're gonna see if this works. Cause y'all gotta pardon the landscapers and things. Cause they chopping or blowing. I can't tell if that's an axe or a tree axe or a blower. All right, so the topic today is going to be about the preconceived notion that, and trust me, you don't have to be black to participate in this conversation. So don't feel discouraged even in the least, to participate. But this topic is about African Americans or American Africans and the Africans in Africa. Like, do they have an issue with us? Because I know when I grew up, and yes, I did say that, Big Bad, a tree axe or a, you know what I'm talking about, the thing they be trimming the hedges with. I don't know if it's that or a board. African English. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. This live right here, hopefully people come on, but this live right here, we want to settle the differences. Because what I'm seeing in some of my peoples is that the African presence on their channel is booming. It's booming. So that means that there's gotta be some things that are not accurate. Like if our sub count is booming with Africans, obviously they must not dislike us. But I grew up thinking that Africans don't like us, like they don't respect us, like we were not the real original black people. Like that's what I was taught, right? But that is old. Like when did I hear that? I heard that like over 10, 15 years ago. So has it changed? And on this show right here, we want to stick to the topic. We want to stick to the topic. Enzo, it's a trip. I pray to see the devil. Nobody hates anybody for raising that job, but better than just rich. I agree. But it's no different when people from the South say California people talk. That's a good point, Enzo. That's a good point, because you know what? Once I went over there to the South, I didn't see a lot of people that they did say we talk different. That's how they was able to identify that I wasn't from there. They say we talk proper and fast, and we say they talk slow. I agree. Shit, they don't talk necessarily slow, but the language and English that they speak is a little broken. Not in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, they don't pronounce all the words. They don't pronounce the words out. Like in the South, they don't do that. They say like half the word and expect you to figure out what the hell they saying. Yeah, but they say, y'all talk proper. I'm like, you ain't even said the word proper right. Are you gonna tell me I talk proper? I got teased growing up in the Bay Area because they say I spoke English pros versus Ebonics, but I can speak Ebonics when it's called for it. In the South, when you talk to people, you just gotta listen a little harder, because they not gonna give you no clues. By the time you stuck on that half a word they said, they done ran off about 3, 4, 5 more half a words. All right, you know what? Because Drina pointed this out to me the other day. She said that my microphone sounded distorted. Like my microphone is just unnecessarily loud. So we're going to change this, because I said I would do it. So we're going to remove that.
Ask that guy. And turn that mic on. Okay, so my question is this. Is my mic still tripping? Big Bag, can you hear me clear? No echo?
No echo. No, I'm playing. No echo.
All right. Because like from what I've been hearing lately, like my mic sounds like I'm yelling at people. Adrian, there it is better. Hey, Adrian, salute. All for you, baby. All right, so it's simple. Hold on. It's simple. It's simple. Like growing up, we thought a certain shit. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna bite my tongue. I'm gonna be honest. Growing up, we thought like all Asians ate dogs and cats. That's some childhood stuff we grew up thinking. We even brought it to life in our mind. Like if we was looking over our Asian neighbor's fence and we seen something that wasn't right, then we would automatically assume like they might have had some ducks hanging on the string. We like them as cats in our mind. But that's childhood shit. Then as you grow up older, first you realize it's true. Certain Asians do eat dogs and cats. But then you get even older and you realize that Africans eat dogs. Well, I don't know about cats, but I know they eat dog meat for sure as you get older. But it's still all from childhood shit that we heard of, but we didn't know if it was true or not. So we grew up thinking these things. And one of the things I grew up thinking was that Africans don't like us. They don't like us. We black as them, but they don't like us because we're from America. You got black folks that go by foundational black Americans that separate themselves. That's a good one. That separate themselves from Caribbean and African Latinos. I didn't know that. See, that's the point of this live. I didn't know that. Stereotypes ain't going nowhere. Some just hide it better than others. That's really what it is, huh? A stereotype. And some hide it better than others. So right now, what you said is that it's a hiding your. That's like a racist person hiding that they racist. To be honest with you, Enzo. That's like a racist person hiding that they racist. So then I would ask, because this is a serious discussion. Then I would ask, like, well, why is that? Why is that? Why would they hate blacks that's from America? And then I'm about to bring some correlation to this shit. I'm about to bring some correlation to this shit. So check this out. There's a such thing called updating and enough is enough, right? There's a such thing as that. So what I'm going to do is bring it to correlation. Look, and I'm not making this up. From Northern California, blacks, Mexicans, everybody. There was a preconceived notion, and it wasn't preconceived because it was true, that blacks and Mexicans in LA are, like the Mexicans in LA are racist, and they don't fuck with blacks. Where did I learn that? I learned that in prison, of course, right?
That's not true though, completely. That's
hold on, Big Bad. Hold on, let me finish. That was a preconceived notion that I was taught in prison because everywhere I was surrounded by was hate. But guess what? So I'm watching YouTube. It was one of these Southern California YouTube channels, and they were following some Bloods in their hood, and a Southsider walked by. And the thing was, do y'all get it? What the fuck? How does that work? And they was like, blood. Like we don't be funking with Mexicans. Like that shit is old. That's the older niggas. Like we ain't tripping with no Mexicans. We got Mexicans from the hood. So we ain't tripping on them like that. That shit is old. Like there's pockets of LA where people don't even remember funking with Southsiders like that. So that would be, for some people, that might, what I just said it might have a little shock value because it's the fucking truth. The youth, the millennials, they are not coming up worrying about some Southside Mexicans in LA. And for them not to worry about the Southsiders in LA means that the Southsiders in LA, the youngsters, ain't worrying about blacks. Fair exchange, no robbery. So that's the update. But guess what? If I hadn't seen it for myself, seen it come out another black's mouth, a young gangbanger black's mouth at that, I would have had no idea that. I would have thought it was racist, it's funk, it's like, even if we just have a conversation with a Southsider, that's a plus. But really, that shit is out the door. This is some new millennial shit. We could be stuck like some old dudes that stuck on the old ways. We could be like that, but there's no freedom in that. There's no freedom in that because you're not moving with the times and understanding that shit has moved the fuck on. Move the fuck on. You're gonna be like somebody that got out of prison that been locked up since 1970 something and coming home talking about the same stuff in the 1970s somethings. Who do we have here?
What's up with it, Brody?
What's up with my guy, man?
You know it, man. Power to the people. Shouts to the Dirty Nation. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you good.
That's what's up.
So the name of this live is African Americans and Africans in Africa and the difference of opinions of why we grew up thinking that they didn't like us. And the significance with you is that you are actually part of a religion that stems from Africa. So,
right.
If you don't mind, could you start there?
Yeah, I can start with the religion by saying that, like most of us, I was raised in the church, first the Catholic Church, then the Baptist Church. I always heard the drum. I like to call it the drum of my people, though. So whether I was reading the Bible at Sunday school, whether I was in the streets thugging, I always felt this voice that led me to discover and research, where our people, found their worldview at, where they found their position at, how they built these wonderful things that the world goes to praise, but at the same time puts us at the bottom of, talk about the pyramids and all that stuff, the science of the world.
Yeah.
That being said, I'll just take it real simple. When it comes to this, where I go with this dirt is hey, we don't like each other here. I don't like a nigga from up the street sometimes. People up the street don't like me. So it's not far-fetched that somebody living in a whole nother continent won't have no connection to me. But there's both truth and there's both falsehoods in that. One thing we must realize when it comes to that, and I won't say we must, but one thing that I come to realize is that while we were enslaved here, our people have been enslaved there to this day. And I don't mean the chattel slavery of whipping you and all that other type of stuff. Oppression, the mental stranglehold that they put on the motherland of Africa, boy, has been to some extent greater than the stranglehold that they put on the blacks and the Latinos and the Asians and stuff out here in the United States. Because we talk about colonialism, colonialism and being second grade citizens or second rate citizens.
Okay, so to kind of keep it on the differences, like Because I know so coming from Baptist and Catholic and all that, you had in your studies, you had to have come across the thought that they don't like us here. How did you overcome that, or how did you see through that?
Well, one thing, I never listened to nobody. That's one thing I will say about me is, of course, I was a student, so I listened to teachers, but I never listened to just the naysayers. So if there was a majority, if there was a major narrative going on, the majority of people spoke, I always questioned it. And one of the things I always questioned was them people not liking us. But like I say, that's why I kind of prefaced it with saying we don't like each other out here, because I entertained the idea of that, but it wasn't what I came across, nor was it what I felt in my heart. So I kind of rejected that whole thing of them hating, not liking us. And to this day, I reject it. But there's so many factors that go into that. One big factor is, like I say, colonialism. Colonialism just wasn't done by the European. The reason why, okay, we speak English. Dr. Khalid Muhammad, I was watching him yesterday. Dr. Khalid Muhammad, we know him from the Ice Cube tapes and, the Million Man March, all that stuff, and later with the Black Panthers, rest in peace, brother. But he said language should not divide us. He said, okay, you got bit by an English dog. This one got bit by a French dog. This one got bit by a Portuguese dog, and it made so much sense. So as a Pan-Africanist, and of course, this has to do with my evolution, my growth to become a Pan-Africanist, and being Latin for all Black people, no matter where you find a Black person out on this planet, in India, in Fiji, in Samoa, in Africa, in the United States, in Canada, we all the same people, man. And that's what a Pan-African is.
Do they accept that though, or embrace that?
Most Africans technically don't call themselves Africans. When I say most, of course, they're educated. Like most of the world, they speak multiple languages, unlike the United States, American who only speaks one and might be bilingual, but speak a little Spanish. But to be African is okay, a good example of it to be is like we know people that we call them Spanish,
right?
But the real name of that country is not Spain, it's España. But here in America, we taught that that place is called Spain, and that the people over there are Spanish. But we know they speak Espanol. We don't put two and two together that, hey, Espanol, España. We don't do that. So going back to African, and this is a term that was given to a whole continent of hundreds of different multi-ethnic people, multicultural people, multiple languages and stuff like that. And that base term is put on Africa. Okay. Most Europeans don't really call themselves Europeans. They call themselves German. They call themselves, French, this, that, and the third. We tend to just take their cue at it and just lump all them people in Africa. So, okay, Africans. They call themselves Africans, but most people there would call themselves their nation first. Because when you have a nation, when you have a national history, you have an identity. Here in the United States, we struggle for our identity because what are we? Black? Okay, yeah, we're Black. Okay, are we African? Yeah, we're African, but we're not from Africa. Okay, we're American. Yeah, we're African American. All this old different stuff. Right now, they come with the ADOS, a descendant of slave, and now they're trying to say that we the first tribes and we was here with the Indians. All this different stuff, right? But all that applies. But what I'm saying is, the African in Africa doesn't necessarily consider himself an African in the sense.
So where does the difference come though? Because we see them all as one. So where's the difference from what they have against us, or what we was taught that they have against us?
Okay, well, I can you know the parallels of me being African is we don't believe in ultimates. See, the European, he loves to believe in ultimate black and white, this way and that way. Okay, well, Shabaka is very fluid. So I'll go back to say this. a reason why a lot of our African people, bro, a lot of our West Indian people, a lot of our people from the islands of South America and India and other places look at us with a little form of disdain is because to whom much is given, much is expected. We live in the we live in one of the most progressive, successful experiments in the world, the United States of America. You know, a place that rebelled, 13 little colonies rebelled from Europe, you know, and I'm quoting Khalid again because, you know, Khalid go. But 13 little colonies rebelled against Europe, broke away, established this country. Boom. Okay. It's become off our blood, sweat, and tears. You know, the black man, the Latin man, the Indian man, for everybody's tears, the Asian man. This country has become the world power.
Yeah.
People coming from so-called third world countries and like that look at it like, man, how could you live here and not take advantage of all the things you got when we killing ourselves trying to get over there? And then you being here, you sit back and allow yourself to become the face of the pimps, the face of the gangsters, the face of the killers, the face of the prison system, the face of drugs, all these different things. How could you allow yourself to do that, black man? So our folks look at us and see that and like, working. That was the whole thing on when we used to watch In Living Color. They'd be like, the Jamaican be like, 3 jobs. You only got 1 job. You know, they coming out here and they working, bro. You know, a lot of us, we like to criticize the Chicano man, the Latino man out here, man. But that Mexican, he get up every day and he go to work, man. He go sit out there in front of, you know, he go sit out there in front of.
So let's bring correlation to it. So are you saying that they judge us because we don't work as hard as they do?
What they do is they judge us off of our arrogance, bro. See, here in the United States, we take on the identity of the Europeans so much so that we don't even understand how we've put his paradigm over ours. A beautiful paradigm straight from God. You know what I mean? God's babies. You know, that's where the soul and the spirit and everything that we touch, you know, turns gold. You know what I mean? But we had to look at it through the lenses of this European, and we attach all of his stuff on ours. So where I'm going at it was this, and I know I could be long-winded Baka, but man, this bitch downstairs is crazy, blood. Hey, but where I'm going at it is with we haven't made the best of it, man. And a lot of our people come from Belize, and they make it pop here. Be sending money back to their people and be out here working and be like, why don't we take that step? But now it's been different slaveries. Like I say, our folks been enslaved over there. We've been enslaved over here. So where I'm going at is to say this. How we've been taught to hate and to separate, we've been taught to hate them. They've been taught somewhat that we hate them. And there's little baby truths and all of that. But
let me bring correlation to what you're saying real quick to people that it might have went over their head. So what you were saying earlier about 4 minutes ago is that like this. We're in California where marijuana is legal. Right. Some people that are in places of where it's not legal, when they meet us, they're like, bro, you don't grow. Like we wish we could grow weed. And you're in California. That's a perfect way. That's a perfect way to look at it, bro. You should not be like the land of milk and honey, man. Opportunity that all of us would love to have in these southern states where they will send you to jail for a nugget. So they look at us like, why you ain't growing? Like it's why that's like free money. Like why you not growing? That's how they look at us. Right. That's a good way to put it, bro. And I'm happy you did that, bro, because that that really does exist. But I'm gonna tell you like this though, bro. Our people love us. A lot of them, like I say, being colonized for so long, they look at Americans as better. And I struggle with that a lot in communicating with our people to let them know that, hey, we're not no better, but there is a certain amount of credit that must be given to United States Negro, the West African, Marcus Garvey, the Malcolms. It's a certain reason why we produce these world leaders. It's a certain reason why we produce, these forms of literature and literary magnificence. And it doesn't have to do with the fact that we speak English. It don't got nothing to do with the fact that
the Puritan was very extreme when it came to his trying to take everything Black African out of us, you know, as opposed to the Catholic. You know, the Catholics they kind of played with us a little bit. You know, we could still marry. You know, that's why you see Cuba and Puerto Rico and all them different places that flourish like that.
You know about the Black Madonna in the Vatican?
Yeah, I surely do.
See, that's stuff that we don't find in the history books. There's really a Black Madonna, a picture of a Black Madonna on the wall in the Vatican. And the Vatican recently, I don't know what, it's probably been about 8-9 years that they had to apologize to us because they understood the part that they played in the oppression of us. You know about that?
Yes, sir. I'm very hip to that, brother, and I'm happy you brought that up. Let me say this: we don't got to look no further than the United States, man. This country was pretty much built in worship and idolization of the Black man. You know what I mean? It's like, but in order to become the ruling party, the ruling class, to create this a white man's world, you had to step on somebody. So they had to step on us, brother. And it only happened a few hundred years ago.
But who stepped on the Indians?
What do you mean?
Because if what you said is true, then that means the Indians was here first, and they were stepped on by the Spaniards and by the English.
Well, I look at it like this: the Mexican is a mixed people of beautiful people that is native to the land and beautiful people that made it do what it do. You know what I mean? But everywhere the white man went, he created these different ethnicities, these different people. You know, he created the Arab. Here he created the Mexican or the Latino. You know what I mean? That's the white man's. That's his legacy, man. Is going and raping the little boys, keeping the little boys, raping the women, killing the men that are resistance, or either taking a spirit by raping them and running trains on them in front of the women. All the stuff that they did, they really did that shit, bro. So
hey, you know what? Before we go further, because you're getting deep, right? You might as well go on and break down motherfucker.
You break down motherfucker, Dirt. You break it down, bro.
Motherfucker. So the colonies that you was talking about, they had these slave camps.
Right.
And literally it wasn't about that you was black, that you was anything. It was about that you was a number and you was a dollar sign. Right. So they didn't care how you reproduced as long as you reproduced. And they would take sons and blindfold them and make them have sex with their mother. Or their sister. So when we say the term motherfucker, really what we're doing is we're paying homage to a terrible time and a terrible thing.
Right. Language is something else, bro. And language is usually used against us. Most laws in this country is used against us. Most of the mores and the norms of this country, man, is used because this country would not be here unless we were put on the bottom. Period, point blank, man. They wouldn't have been able to suck our essence and create planes and cars and this, that, and the third. You know, we was basically single-handedly responsible for all the creations that made this country great.
So let's do this. Let's go back and forth. Let's name some things that Africans created. And I'm gonna go first. No, let me go first. And we're gonna go till we can't go no more. I'm gonna jump out there and say peanut butter.
Yeah, George Washington Carver. Yeah, and by the way, speaking of that, you know, let me little fun fact when it comes to that. Gooba or goober is the name of the groundnut or the peanut in Africa. We as kids ate goobers. You know, goobers. Yeah, the goobers. You know, goober is actually the name of the peanut back home. And that's also the name of my big homegirl, Goober. You know what I mean? QQ mom. But anyway, yeah, peanut butter. And through that peanut butter, many other creations was created through Carter G. Woodson. You know, they figured out how to run cars and everything. But the car, we're not giving credit for the car, but the fact of the matter is, we created.
Talking about the car?
The car was created by us. The airplane was created by us, bro.
Hey, no, man, we going 1 for 1. 1 for 1.
Okay, all
right. So I'm gonna say we built the White House,
right?
And we built the White House and the obelisk. What's it called?
Yes, sir. The Washington Monument.
The Washington Monument.
Hey, I love that you said that because that's what I was saying when I said we don't got to look no further than right here to see if they worshipped us, bro.
Hey, hold on. I'll be right back in 1 minute. But remember, people watching though.
Yeah, so Benjamin Banneker. Benjamin Banneker was initiated architect, you know what I mean, in the sciences, and he's the designer of Washington, D.C. You know, Washington, D.C., just like Egypt had different capitals, United States had different capitals. We know this, right? So when they decided to relocate to the Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, they went and summoned this brother Benjamin Banneker, and he designed that. He was the architect that basically put all that together. And like my brother said, the slaves built all that, you know. But
so what do you see when you see this? This is sitting on Drina's table. What do you see when you see this?
I see the obelisk from Egypt. I see the Washington Monument imitating us, trying to create Thebes, recreate the empires that we created 1,000 years before this one. Some people also say that it is representative or of the penis. You know what I mean?
That's what I was getting to.
Right. Yeah. The male energy. You know. Yeah. And that's what they doing. You know what I mean? They trying to give birth to their own little thing.
Although, they got them same obelisks in Mexico too, right?
Oh man, come on. We get into the Aztecs and the Mayans and the Olmecs, bruh. Man, we talking about our people. You know, only certain people build pyramids around the world, man, and that was us. You know, and that ain't taken from nothing. See, we can't get so caught up in skin. We can't get so caught up in language, bro. We got to look at spirit, bro. You know what I mean? We got to look at energy. We got to look at vibrations. We got to look at creations. What does a person create? Because, you know, if you create something, you're going to continue to create it. You know, like we continue to create it. I don't care if we put it in hip hop poetry. I don't care if we able to go and put it over there at the African History Museum in DC that they got now, which is basically built on African concepts and stuff. It don't matter where we put it at, bro. We're going to continue to create because we are the creators, bro. You know what I mean? And that just is what it is, you know? But going back to the game, let's see.
Me? Bye.
Yeah, I hear you, King. You speaking sign language to me?
Say something.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right.
I just switched. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, but yeah, man, you know, long kite Baraka Barua, but man, how I can get down, man. But keep me on point with this, man, and I make it a little more succinct, a little more.
Hey, look, I'm nothing but a designated driver through your knowledge because I've known you for so long.
Right.
So
man, it was good to see you and Chief, man, on the same page, man. That even though it was pain, bro, you know, comrades got to come together in pain sometime, bro. You know, that was real pleasant for me, bro, because like I say, man, brothers, man, we got principles and we live on our principles, and also we gotta sometimes look at the big picture, bro. You know, I forgot some stuff that I was reminded of that, you know, seeing y'all talking, the history of y'all brothers, man, and how sisters are coming to play in this game, man, and it's real serious, blood. But anyway, let's get back on point, man.
So, all right. So here's the thing, right? This is what I've noticed recently. It's a brother named Black Money who has been there. He's been there for as long as I can remember in this YouTube game, right?
Black Money?
Yeah, and his demographics of his subscribers is like 90% or 85% African. And from what he's saying is that they love us over there. He like they love us over there. So wait a minute, hold on. If they loving us over there in Africa like that, then why? So who got to update? Do we got to update or do they got to transgress? And I don't see them transgressing. So I only see them rising. So that means that we got to update what we was taught. And that's just the same thing as how they didn't teach us certain shit in school. We had to learn it as adults.
Right. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, bruh. You got different experiences and different strokes for different folks, man. I ain't never met an African that greeted me with nothing less than a smile and pleasant love, man. That's me personally. I always show a certain level of intricate concern and interest when I meet my brothers. When I detect the accent, when I detect when I look and see the the physiology, because no, we don't look the same. We've been over here getting mixed and tossing it up and mixing with all type of different Africans, to whereas when you sit in a place for thousands of years, you tend to look the same. So the Nigerians look the same, South Africans look the same, Ethiopians look the same, because of course they've been there. We have not been fortunate to live in that kind of space. So anyway, what I'm getting at is this: whenever I come across brothers, sisters, man, throughout my life, man, it's never been nothing but a pleasant curiosity, understanding. And when I was able to show that I had a little bit of at least, passion or love for the motherland, it always was greeted with, reciprocity. You know what I mean? That's me personally. But of course, since a child, I've been told that we not liked and that we not loved. But like I say, I always go back to this. Hey, man, we don't like the niggas up the block. We don't like them niggas around the corner. We don't like them dudes from over there out here. So that whole tribalism, separation, seeing each other as separate beings and entities has not escaped none of us. So you're hypocritical to say somebody else don't love you when you don't love them. You know what I mean? But yeah, to update you, I'll put it like this. I went to a food class. I went to a food cooking class a few months ago out there in Vegas, and I bumped into some Nigerians, and of course the religions that I kind of delve into come out of West Africa, both Ghana and Nigeria. So I bump into the brother. I see his name off top. I know, I see his name. I look at him, and right there we connect, bro. He was there with his wife. She's from Trinidad, not Trinidad. She's from the West. Her family's from the West Indies. She raised in New York though, and it's like right there, right then and there. We was like, man, ready to, book the trips, book the flights, how we can connect our family and get with this and that. I got it. So that's just one example recently of me coming across, a Caribbean brother, Caribbean sister, and a Nigerian brother, who, like I say, embraced me and my entourage like it was nothing, and wanted to, like I say, link it further and, give us the information that we need, because it costs a lot to get on the plane and go out there. Living out there is cheap. Being out there is pretty inexpensive compared to American dollars, but it's the flight. So, we exchanging information or whatever, so that's a personal update. Let me give you another. My uncle, he married a Nigerian woman. This is my dad's brother. So I got Nigerian cousins. You know what I mean? Their mom is Nigerian. My dad, of course, my uncle, of course, is from here, and they got children, and they got like I said, I got a big Nigerian family. And my uncle, he travels in and out of Africa 2-3 times a year, man, and he, nothing pleasant stuff to say, and I ain't talking about just South Africa, yeah, man, yeah.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Like my microphone has been trash, and I've been hearing that lately. So I'm about to go. Give me about 60 seconds. Let me go grab these other headphones. I think it's still another level we can hit.
All right. In the meantime, the nuclear bomb uh, was not able to be designated without the mind intelligence of the black man. It's a certain level of melanin that requires one to get into the ins and outs of everything in the universe. You know what I mean? It's a certain hemispheric usage of the brain. You know, we got a right and a left brain. You know, the black man and people of color, melanated people, people that don't got calcified third eyes or pineal glands, whatever gland you want to call the third eye that opens you up to your awakeness or to your awareness or to your Godhead, your Ori, as we say in Nigeria and Yoruba. Um, that is usually the west, the western, the the west hemisphere, the this side of the brain, as opposed to the left. The European tends to be a left thinking brain, which comes in aggression and lack of love and lack of sensitivity and things of that. This is the emotional side, and this is the brain in which we come from. You know what I mean? So that's why creating these bombs, you know what I mean, they needed that other side. And sometimes that's what niggas need out here is that softer side, realizing the parallels, the polarities, of not just masculine and feminine. Sometimes look at it as just yin and yang, negative and positive, and that you need these two things sometimes to coalesce to create anything. And that's why we
Yeah,
become a
yeah,
creator.
yeah.
You know
Hey,
what I mean?
how does my microphone sound? Do it sound a little
Boom,
better?
you Gucci, yeah.
All right, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, get
All
your
right.
technology game up. I see the homie. I see Nate Dogg came in there, man, and he got that he got that prison OCD shit. He was trying to get you right up in that motherfucker, boy. You know
Hey,
what I mean with the
look,
light.
hey, look, man. We've been at this since 2018 in this YouTube thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to watch things pass me up. I had to catch up. I had to do all type of shit through this thing. But you know what? Motherfuckers still here.
And that's what it is, bro. We wiggle. We wiggle, bro. And you've been wiggling, bro. And I've been loving seeing. Let me, man, I'm a major fan, so it ain't. I don't gotta tell you, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm real proud of. I'm real proud of what you're doing, man. You know.
Hey, one thing I respect always when you hit a homie out the blue, like, yeah, this topic suits you well. Like, and I hit a homie and he like, shit, let's go.
For sure.
Let's go.
For sure, man.
And then when people listen, and they see, they know shit. I know this is just the tip of the iceberg. I know this boy got layers. But you
Yeah.
gotta think, like all the books that we read and all the experiences, and sometimes on top of the books that we read, we get to sharpen this knowledge that we just learned against other people that read the same shit. So we
Right.
know we on the right path. So can you
Mm-hmm.
give me like three books that was pivotal to you in your prison time that helped shape who you were, except Message to the Black Man? That's too easy.
That's almost like top three MCs. You know what I mean? Everybody gonna preface it with that, with that Mount Rushmore, okay, and then the modern. So let me say, um, um, the ISIS papers, Francis Cress Welsing, which
I'm,
I started reading as a teenager.
I remember the ISIS papers.
Right, the autobiography of Malcolm X was probably one of the first ones really to jump me off, and just to get real scientific on some real deep shit, some real get up in there and blow your mind back and reconnect you. I go with Raoul Neffer's Metal Netter, Volume 1, Volume 2, which also was cited by Brother Tookie Williams. Rest in peace to the Keyway nigga. It's Bloody July. And the other thing about that is we salute the Keyways and all that too. So yeah, Metal Netter, Metal Netter, which is that's the one,
You
man.
ever,
By that.
you ever read Make Me Wanna Holler?
I have by Nathan McCall. One of my favorite books. I read that in girls' school. My mom got it for me.
That
Mm-hmm.
was like the first serious book I read like that. But it was it
Mm-hmm.
was it was serious with a realistic twist.
I
Make Me
love it.
Wanna Holler. And I
That's
read
the
that
book.
I read that in juvenile hall.
Yeah, that's probably the book that made me want to write. I donated that book to Juvenile Hall too. It probably was that one. You know.
Probably.
Yeah. Hey, but Yeah, yeah, I got that book. It was one of, matter of fact, Mom's got me that book and a book of daily affirmations. And that's why you love affirmation to this day. You know, we like to talk about how similar it is with the proverbs and this, that, and the third. But for me, that starts with daily affirmations of the Bible. And later on, when I got with my dad, Baba Baruti and Wali Mubaruti, he put out Naya Sasum, which means wise words in African, which was like it was like it was like almost like daily bread, you know, daily words that you can go and quotes from different people and stuff that apply each day of the year, man. So Nayam Sasum by Mwalimu M. Bomani Baruti. That's Baruti, Naya Sasum.
Okay,
It's a great
okay.
book, great
So
book to read when it comes to that.
so let's go to a more common book that most everybody, because there's this stigma of books that we read in there that like everybody read 48 Laws, and and chances are we most likely did a long time ago.
Right.
But even books that are more common than that. So let's start with Sister Soldier, Coldest Winter Ever.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. The boldest winner ever is what I want to name one of my albums when I finally decide to freestyle an album. Um, yeah, very inspirational for me. Sister Soldier she's a radical, you know what I mean? She went at it with Clinton, if we remember. She was, you know, over there in the White House giving him hell. And she's probably on like book number 4 or 5 when it comes to that coldest winter ever series with
Can you recall them?
the books.
Yeah.
Coldest winter ever, Midnight 2, 3, and then she gets to getting real creative when she gets on. But they basically, Midnight is the character, the Sudanese hitter from that book, that when he was talking to Santana, when he was talking to you Winter,
Did you
he said,
no, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, when he was talking to her, he said, you know, a smart nigga never fuck with a stupid female. And this is Midnight telling her this Sudanese cat that ran with her dad did, you know, stayed up in the loft with, you know what I mean, with nothing but him, his gun, and the flat on the bed, you know what I mean, saved his money and this, that. But they later go on to fuck with Midnight. Sister Soldier goes on to fuck with Midnight and write books about him. Wonderful books, man. You know, he practiced polygamy or polygyny, which, you know, I advocate as well, because that's the only way I feel that we're going to get free again and become the people we need to be for the black family, is when we return to, you know, having multiple wives, because God don't do nothing stupid. God know what he's doing, and women outnumber us. You know, and you was talking about Atlanta, how they 14 outnumber us, and it's a reason why it's like that, and it's a reason why we become the face of the pimps and got stables and become Rolling Stones and all that, because we, like I was saying earlier about putting they paradigm on our goodness, they paradigm on our nature. See, you take what comes natural to us, which is to be men fulfilling the obligation of being fathers and having multiple wives and all this. And we're gonna do that anyway, whether the Bible say it's good, whether the white man oppressor say it's good or not. We're gonna do what comes natural to us. So anyway,
Do that
Midnight,
is that an African belief? Do it start there?
for the
Or did
most
it,
part,
does that
for the
sound to
most
me
part,
like a
it's a
European
human.
belief?
To me, what's that? The polygamy?
Yeah, that sounds like a European thing, because I know they was a bunch of perverts, and I know they was doing a whole bunch of shit that people don't agree with. It wouldn't
Once
agree with
again,
these days.
But once again, that's because we put our mind state on it. We think about pussy. See, pussy ain't really a high. Pussy is a vehicle for it's a vehicle for, of course, procreating. It's a vehicle, of course, for pleasure. It's a vehicle for even spiritual transcendence. If you get into like the tantric yoga and all that, which come from our mind state and our experiences too. Sex is a beautiful thing. At the same time, it's not. She said she'd fuck her dog. These people crazy over here. Hey, but look, so it's like in other words, man, I put it real basic and simple, man. We ain't tripping on the pussy. We tripping on the actual application of who we are through the woman. And if children come from that relationship, if households come from that, if structure, if intergenerational wealth come from that, usually it's because we had the sense to go to our elders and say, look, I need another woman. That's young lady, instead of leaving her out here to find her way or to become a serial monogamous fucking from age 14, 15, 16. until she 40, talking about she want to find a man. No, nah, bitch, that ain't what it is. Our culture didn't do it like that. You know, our culture really was about raising us and preparing us to go and advance the family. And realistically, the only way that could take place if men took more than multiple wives.
So
Because
can you explain rites of passage?
yeah, real simple. Rites of passage um is a training session that takes place in a young man or woman's life when they're young, to help them with the um with the migration, with the path into adulthood, into awareness. And it's basically believed that once you go through this rites of passage, you are now an adult, an adult member of the community. And until you go through that rites of passage program, different tribes and ethnicities and statehoods have their different personal rites of passage. But basically, it's a training from it's a, like basically like here in the United States, you say boot camp or uh 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 yeah, like going to camp. You know what I mean?
So
Where you
so the only place I seen it really was on Kunta Kinte, where they showed that they'll kidnap them from in the night, in the middle of the night, blindfold them and walk them to boot camp. And when they
yeah,
come back from this boot camp, you're now
they
a
know how
man.
to fight. They know how to make knives. They know how to if they was designated being a priesthood, they go off with the training with the priest because you know our priests go to war with us. You know, and I got this call coming in. Let me get this call real quick, Dirt.
Yep.
They gonna let me answer?
What's up, Dirt?
What's happening?
Awesome. On lunchtime?
That's right. We was
Am I
kicking
free?
we was kicking
Oh, shit.
some real live hypnotical
Man.
bottical. I got so deep into it, I realized I didn't bring no blunts. Anyhow, we're at 58 minutes. Oh, this the raw paper with the, you feel me? Hey, but, well, no, it ain't. That was the first one. That's why. Anyhow, all right, man. So, don't think I could hear you. You got to unmute your mic. No, you like see the mic at the bottom. Hit that mic. You're on mute.
Why are you sitting there strapped?
Where?
No, direct. It's the bucket.
That's right. Hey, Bart.
Yeah.
So this is what I learned today, right? I got a thing for these banana wraps.
Zoo, do you now?
Yeah, but guess what?
What's up?
They was talking about they ain't gonna be selling no flavors no more. You know, we've been hearing that rumor for years now. They done with the flavors, but today,
Today. Right
today,
now. Mm-hmm.
man, well, I go in about 4 stores and they was like, yeah, they done. Like we cleared the shelves. I had to go to the hood store. Like, look, bruh, I know you got some back there. So what's up?
Right.
What's up? And the only thing you can hope for is that he not about to inflate and put some taxes on that shit.
Right. Right.
But I found me a hood store and he gave them to me for free. I mean, not for free, but the normal price.
Right. Right. That's what's up. Hell yeah. Hell
Hey,
yeah.
so let's go back to this, because this is what the closure probably was gonna be. Like we
Mhm.
spoke on how your religion comes from Africa, the motherland. So explain to people, like, if you was to, like, give a little 1, 2, 3 minute tutorial about your religion, like, and how you came to it, if you don't mind.
Okay. You know, 1, 2 would be this, man. They always talked about my family. Like I said, we came through the Catholic thing, and within the Catholic Church, man, a lot of what people would call voodoo or um, 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 Orisha or Yoruba is tied up in the Catholic Church. You know what I mean? The rituals and this, that, and the third. So the French, they allowed us to kind of keep our ways a little bit more. That's why Louisiana was so popping with the voodoo. That's why in Haiti, it was so popping with the voodoo. That's why in, Puerto Rico and Cuba, you can get different versions of the African religion so strong there when it's not strong in the United States. Um,
Right.
what you're talking about is we call it Ifa.
Hmm.
The Odu Ifa was the oral um, stories that was given hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, and passed on to fit certain stories to people. So the people would do divination, throw some cowrie shells out, throw some particular bones out, and from the message given in this, they would go refer back to the Odus, the Ifa, and they would give that to the person that was in need for a prescription. The priest would. Now, so we're talking about Ifa. It's come from the Yoruba people of West Africa, Nigeria, Benin, and Togo, mainly in Nigeria now, which was Yoruba land before the Europeans came over there and broke everything all up and separated. It had, meetings over there in Europe, said, French, y'all can have this, Portuguese, y'all can have this, England, y'all can have this. They really did that, blood. So anyway, the Yoruba are the original people who built the pyramids, we like to say. They are the people who, after so many um,
Wait a minute. Hold on. Are they Comedics?
we believe that the Kemetic people, the Sudanese people, the Nubians, after going on so many fights and runs with the European, the Greeks, the Romans, the different Middle Eastern people, the people who came out the Middle East, after so many fights with them, we went on the run and resettled in West Africa. That's where we built Timbuktu and we built all these things, sometime under Islam, sometime under the original things like the Yoruba. The Yoruba is one of two people who led most of the uprisings, most of the revolts, the rebellions here in the Western Hemisphere, here in the West, in the Americas, was the Yoruba of Nigeria and the Akan of Ghana. Now, they kept their religion together, basically, the Yoruba people. They have the strongest um, fortified, preserved religion on the planet and the oldest. And we believe that this religion goes back to the temples in Egypt. So we believe these are the same people because all of Africa wasn't inhabited as it is now, not ancient Africa. We
Yeah.
live by water, we live by coasts, and we made our livelihood, our civilization based on that. So anyway,
So did they come? Did they? So the Aruba people came before the Comedics or after?
after this is after being on the run, where we instead of building pyramids, we have to start now building huts. We now have to start. They find us in the state that we find our people in today. That some people like to look down upon, but it's so
Have,
mustard with culture.
have you
It's
ever read a
pitiful.
book? You ever read a book called "The Blacks Who Wrote the Bible"?
Um, it rings a bell. I've read a lot of literature on that. That was my theme when I was young. Was basically I felt the Bible spoke to us. They was talking about us, and it's the reason why I got so much love for the Hebrews and the Moors and I love everybody. The Muslims, but I can't say for sure I read that one. But I think I have.
Let me.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask the hard questions that some people probably don't want to hear. But how old is the Bible?
Um, they wrote it. They wrote it like 700 years after Jesus' death, I believe. Most of the transcripts and from not whether you're talking about the Nag Hammadi or most of the scripts was written, the scrolls was written, the Dead Sea Scrolls, all that stuff was written a few hundred years after Jesus. You know what I mean?
So the
After
Um,
question.
after Christianity, right?
yeah.
So the question is, Christianity was brought to Africa. So what was them
Yes.
Africans before?
It was born from Africa. It was born from Africa. Jesus was raised in Africa. He remember he went on the run and they went into Egypt. Moses was raised in Africa. He was taught in the temples. So the religion of Christianity comes from Africa. You know, the original Hebrew.
But do you recall? So I got some basic questions that was taught to me in this book. Where did we, first of all, during the Exodus, the mass Exodus, question number one, where did them people come from?
We were already here.
Well,
no, we're not talking about here. We're talking about during the
in the
700
Bible-
years that they was wandering.
Well, let me say this. The stories in the Bible, even with Jesus, the speech on the Mount, the proverbs that he spit, all this, a lot of that stuff can be found in ancient scripture. For one, it was the Jesus and Moses was taught by Egyptians. The whole world was taught by Egyptians, bro.
Okay. So then when they left on the mass Exodus and wandered for 700 years in the desert, right? Who did them people become?
They certainly didn't become they certainly didn't become white. Never at point in time did they become white.
They became the Jews.
Well, the Jews that we call Jews today in America, the Goldbergs, the Weinsteins, and all of them, just based on their name, tell you really that they're not from the original people. Those names aren't even.
But I'm telling you, this is my knowledge. During that Exodus, that 700 years that they left, they was wandering, and then they became the Jews. And all you gotta do is look at where their history started. But they came from the Afrikaner tribe. And you know about that tribe?
Yeah,
so I know. Afrikaners like that was the Akon tribe, and the Akon tribe really is what it was. If you look in the Jewish language, there's correlation in their language that they sought to get rid of, and get rid Hebrews, exactly. Get rid of the connection between them and Africa.
But okay, answer this question for me. Hello, salute to the panel, salute to chat, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? Good morning, sorry. Okay, if ships can't make it over here, still to this day, can no ships come from Africa across that water? How did they get over? How did Africans get over here then?
I don't know that ships can't cross that water.
Ships cannot, to this day, you cannot take no ship across that Atlantic from Africa to here. They don't even have a route.
But there might be a long way.
No.
Because how are U.S. destroyers over there then?
Bro, they got planes to drop them off. But what I'm saying is, bro, you know, in the Moorish, like in the Moorish right, this is where we're at.
So you saying the only way from the United States to Africa is a plane?
Yeah. What slave ship you seen come over here? What Mayflower you seen come over here?
I think where you going with is to basically say that we either was here already or we basically where you going with it, bro?
Like I'm saying, because basically it says that for one, okay, African American, that was dubbed on us by Jesse Jackson. He the one started calling us African Americans. We wasn't even called that at first until he started that like in the 70s or something to
89. It was the late 80s when they came together and said we're gonna be African American.
Right. So then that right there, right? And then I'm just figuring like just thinking about it, like crossing from Africa to over the United, like that's a distance, you know what I'm saying? So basically, and then with all the hieroglyphic shit we got here, like in Denver, down we're at that underground shit in Denver, is it Atlanta too? They got somewhere that they got those stones that he just showed too. They got some stones like that too. Like all the things are leading into like right here in America at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? And like, and I know some African people like black people, but I've been scammed by them Africans, bro. They took my whole identity, nigga, raped me completely. It's like 5 or 6 Andre Jameses over there in Africa right now.
I got homeboys that get killed all the time by their cousins. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, so we know what oppression does, man. We know what controlling a people's mind state, taking their religion, taking their culture, taking their name. We know what that does to a people. Let me say this though. We not functioning with the full capacity of our brain and our know-how and our intelligence right now. But those people from the motherland back then was on a whole different height, bro. I'm not gonna go so far as to say that I believe that they was flying, that I believe that they was using lasers to cut stones and stuff. I can't really say for sure what went down, but certainly there's a history that says that Bakari, a pharaoh from Africa,
Mm-hmm.
sent boats out here. You know what I mean? To go
I'll
out
be
here, and they believe our people really came back and connected out here way before the European. There's history that said this is our real
right.
history.
Like
You know what
Columbus
I mean?
didn't receive. Like Columbus was once selling by and seen us here and was like, hey, like he already got word to send word back that we was already over here.
We was here.
We've been here.
They got off the plane and started raping us. They own priests say this. That's what they started doing. They got out here and started raping little boys, bro. You know what I mean? But
Is that why the Vatican? Is that why the Vatican apologized, or is that part of it?
Well, the Pope runs everything, bro. You know that? The Pope can demolish any law in America, period. The Pope runs this. The Pope runs the whole United States. Everything, the world.
well, the name of their church is the Roman Catholic Church. You know what I mean? That's the Romans, man. So yeah, they took charge of that, man, and they've been running it ever since, man. Up under us, it's like one of them. If you can't beat them, join them type things. You know what I mean?
Right. Because the Pope can abolish any law in the United States right now if he want to. He can come and say, oh, they can do that if they want to, and then abolish it just like that, bro. It's crazy. I'm just learning this shit now. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, the Pope run this shit, and we don't, nigga, and the Pope don't even wear a cross?
Mm-hmm. You
Shit
know,
crazy.
well, you know,
Damn, the Pope don't wear a cross?
Just to greet y'all.
He can have it, man. They can have it, man. You know, I don't want to run nothing but me and mine. You know,
they said he's a bad system. What he doing? The Pope ain't no good, man. The Pope is bad people at the end of the day. They say basically he just.
Hey, but
you know what I mean?
but hey, Dre, but on some real shit, this the point I'm making though.
Yeah.
We're talking about progressive thinking.
Yeah.
We're talking about progressive thinking.
Of course.
So progressive thinking is this.
Okay.
I didn't like Nigerians because they behind most of the scams, right? And then I looked up one day and did an ancestral thing and realized I was part Nigerian, right? So so progressive thinking is this. Once I come across new knowledge and understand that everybody don't think like that, and that I was trapped in tunnel vision thinking that maybe the Nigerians might not like us, but that's only one of like 32 countries in that, states in that country.
Yeah,
so,
they put that on us.
All feel like that.
They put that on us because some people like us, some people, but they just put that stigma on us to Africans about us and make us look like we're different than them. And really, at the end of the day, it was kind of, we are all the same. We all come from the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all it is at the end of the day, though. But they don't understand that because they got the stigmatism about black people. You know what I'm saying? Well, not even black people, because we shouldn't be called black people either. You know what I'm saying?
But I wonder though, if we realized that we enslaved our own.
Yes, we did.
Then shit, will we be as proud?
It started with us.
Because the Europeans had blacks that was kidnapping other blacks and turning them over to the man at the ship.
But let me say this, King. That right there is akin to us talking about Black Lives Matter and the police smoking us and pulling on us and lynching us, you know, by the hundreds. They're doing modern day lynchings that is, you know, sanctified and sanctioned by the whole government because the police is part of the government, you know. So we talk about that, and then somebody said, but what about black on black crime? What about the fact that y'all killing each other and this, that, and the third? That is the same parallel as people talking about we enslaved each other. Yeah, we enslaved each other. You know what I mean? But we didn't start enslaving each other. Black people have never colonized. We've never ran empires. We never went and killed other people. We had inner funk to restore peace and values and to connect with people and create different, basically different ethnicities, different ways of life by combining. But we have never enslaved people, bro. And even if you go to a second, that's what I was saying earlier about the Catholics. Even amongst the Catholic Church, you know what I mean? A person was still able to somewhat buy their freedom or become a productive person in society or even be married or have children. You know, it was within the Puritan system or within the, you know, later on the European British.
I think that there was one example of everything you said about if blacks had did everything that you said, and that was Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street, I think, was the only example we have on record, or maybe Harlem or something like that, Black Harlem, but Black Wall Street, that was, if you can you speak on Black Wall Street?
Yeah.
I was to correct TV 420. Black actually means dead. It means like you no longer existed. Even when writing a pen, you guys should stop writing with black pens because you are considering yourself dead every time you write that pen. It's a dead man writing it. But that's smart.
What frame from where?
Basically from when you're writing. Like I sign everything in red ink now, in all caps.
That sounds to me like a superstition.
I mean, superstitions are good, you know, to be highly aware and know that, you know, words and vibration and everything has life to it is good. But let me say this. I'm very careful on where I get information from. So if you're talking about black means death, no, black does not mean death.
It doesn't mean nothing really. Black is like black and white is nothing. It's not even colors.
No, black is the opposite of light. It's the opposite of light. Period.
Well, but black also carries the most light. Black is, you know, so if you're talking about black, you gotta. It's like, where's we coming from with this? You know, from whose perspective? Now, when you talk about the Latin language, of course, the Latin language they talk about necro, Necro. Some people try to say that's where the word Negro come from. It doesn't. But necro, that means death or black, or necropolis, which they try to name, you know, Heliopolis, which was, you know, whatever. So I understand what you're saying about black being deaf, but no, black does not mean death, bro. Black actually means life. It actually means power. That's why everybody in the European system, from police to judges to you know, they all wear black. You know, they wear it for a reason. They understand the power of black and its capacity to absorb, produce, and contain light, as well as produce light, as well as all the colors being within it, as well as it being, you know, very necessary for life in general. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I hear where you're coming from. I'm not knocking that. I'm not shooting it down because I'm not iconoclastic to just knock everything is not this way. But there is duality. There's other ways to look at things. You know what I mean? On top of the way you're looking at it. You know what I mean?
Hey,
yeah.
Bach.
So,
hey,
yeah.
Bach. It's the reason why I brought your ass on today. I like the way you put together words.
Well, you know,
I just been studying my shit too, though. You know what I mean? Like doing different research on shit, on different things. You know, like because I'm not religious at all. You know what I mean? I'm not no Christian, Baptist, none of that, right? So you know what I'm saying? I be asking questions. You know what I'm saying? I be wanting to know certain things. So then, you know, I'll talk to him more, brother. You know what I'm saying? And he was explaining to me because I was like, hey, bro, since he was talking some shit one day. So I said, bro, will you tell me where Jesus was from 12 to 33 then, right? So he broke it down. And basically, see, no one even asks that question. They see Jesus at 33, right? But don't ask him where he was at from the time he was 12 years old to up to then. Well, that's when they said he was running the streets. He was preaching. He was doing his thing. He was boom, 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 and interacting with the folks and shit. You know what I'm saying? No one could ever tell me that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I be like learning more. And you know, he's been telling me this little shit about little things here and there. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing my own research too. You know what I'm saying? Doing the sovereign thing. You know what I'm saying? Giving back. You know what I'm saying? Getting my rights back. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I be saying about the black and the ink pens, and like how writing in a purple pen means something, and writing in a red pen. You know what I mean? Like all that. That's all. I just been learning my things, going on and on with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I picked that black.
Keep expanding your learning, bro. Keep expanding your learning, man. I encourage you to do that, bro, because like I say, it's so many ways to, you know, get into it, man. To slice it up. You know what I mean? And if you perfect a particular way with discipline, it's like really you say about religion. All religions work, man, based on the passion and what you want to put into it, man.
Right.
And that's the same thing with frames.
All the same at the end of the day, right, sir? All the same at the end of the day, right? We all praying to the same thing, right?
I mean, I won't go that far, but for me, I won't go that far. But I'll just say that it's all about okay. In our thing, we like to say intents and purpose. What is your intents and purposes? That your intent and your purpose pretty much reflects the outcome, what you put into it, and you know the results that you get. You know what I mean? So it's like the cross means something to the KKK. The cross means something to, you know, the Baptists, and the cross also means something to the African original. It's Eshu. In Nigeria, we call the cross Eshu. The cross.
Well, the Moors use a swastika sign. People don't know that.
I knew some ancient people used it. I don't know if it was the Moors.
Yeah, the
Well, they
books.
said it was for peace. I'm saying like their flag looks like a the flag looks like a Confederate flag almost damn near. Like it kind of looks the Moor flag. I think it looks like it's different though. But
It's
I'm
at a
saying, but
different
Talk about
angle.
the more scientists.
yeah,
Talk about the more science temple. Noble Drew Ali in there.
yeah. I'll be talking. I got a couple brothers. I'll be you know what I'm saying dealing with. You know what I'm saying just talking to with them. You know, I haven't got involved in it fully, but you know what I'm saying still be shooting me a little game about it, and it's interesting too at that. It's very interesting.
The symbol I knew they has been incorporated into the Nation of Islam. It's being incorporated into the 5%, and it's
Right.
like it's a broken circle with a 7 in the middle of it.
Right.
Noble Drew Ali came with that in the 1800s, and you know, yeah, the more you smooth. That brother created his own religion. He wrote his own Bible and all that. That lets you know the testament of the mind and the black man.
Right.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. And it's funny. He like my nigga. He reads the Bible too. He's on the Bible too. Don't get it wrong, but because they have to study the Bible also in their thing. So you know, in their religion. So he knows all about it too. But it's like crazy how they put everything together. How he just said Jesus was 33 Mason. Okay. Well, his father was all that supposedly. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question. Were prophets perfect?
I don't think so. I don't think. I mean, it all depends on what you consider perfection. Whose perfection is we talking about?
I mean the prophets that we was taught to believe was prophets.
Perfect.
This man right here is a prophet.
I wouldn't say perfect, man. I wouldn't say perfect.
You a prophet, right? Could you say you was a prophet?
I would say that to myself.
OG.
Oh, Baka.
The way he's speaking.
Well, I'm gonna put it to you like this, man.
He could be a prophet.
One man's militant or you know, one man's terrorist is another man's, you know, revolutionary. You know, so it's all how you look at things, man. I wouldn't go so far to say that I'm a prophet, but you know, I owe much to the prophets. You know what I mean? And yeah. I owe much
Do you think? See, well, my interpretation of a prophet is somebody that was taught each one teach one, and they was handed a responsibility to do such that. The minute you start doing that, you cease to inherit that. But as long as you continue to do that mission, then yes, you are a prophet.
Dirty, you're a prophet.
Well, you know, it's one thing I like about the nation, man. Is we always get the word that they call, you know, somebody blue-eyed devils and this, that, and the third, but we forget that they also called us gods. And we don't think of how revolutionary that is to sit back and say, hey man, you know, really is a god. You know, you really come from the most supreme, and you really got the capabilities to on this planet really run this world again. And I just always found that to be just a wonderful thing, man, you know.
Do you know somebody that spoke that put it out there though? Erykah Badu.
Oh, but yeah, she from the guy. She with the guys, man. She's
hey,
a guy.
Erykah Badu. When she did On and On, like that song right there, people still don't know, ain't grasping that song.
Hey, this how deep it get. The homeboy that I talked to, that's some more, right? Well, Erykah Badu, what's the other nigga? Wiz Khalifa. Them niggas is in his group. I mean, they're in his group. He's in meeting with these people. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. You know, her baby daddy,
Andre,
Jay Electronica.
Oh, Jay Electronica. Yeah, I remember. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Ain't he from California?
Now, Jay Electronica is from New Orleans, but he rapped like an East Coast nigga.
Yeah.
And he just signed to Griselda a couple days ago.
Right?
Yeah.
I fuck with Jay Electronica.
The Griselda boys got benched right now, boy. I'm telling you know they bringing it, man. But yeah, man, the Wu-Tang, bro, the Wu-Tang, they see this is the thing. So going back to Nation, they didn't really publicly speak about us being God so much because they knew what it did. It isolated them from the rest of the Muslim world. In traditional Islam, Al-Islam, the Islam by Prophet Muhammad 1400 years ago, Sabbat al-Salam, peace be upon him. They teach that the ultimate sin, the ultimate shirk, was forbidden is to call yourself a God. Although they got 99 names of Allah, and you pretty much name yourself and kind of become the embodiment, the persona of the Rashids, the Hassans, all of that, right? But to call yourself God is now cipher. It's a no. So that being said, it was real revolutionary for Elijah Muhammad them to come with that, but it was like kind of kept to themselves. You know, you would publicly hear about the white devil and all that, but you wouldn't hear them publicly speak about us being God. But with Clarence 13X, who's some called Father of Allah.
So if we were made in his image, then call us by our names. Those intellects don't know the feeling, but the feeling's just the same.
Right, right. Most intellects do not believe in God. They atheists. Most intellectuals, you know what I mean? You know, man, I hate this coming to an end, man. I gotta jet up out of here in a few minutes, man. I hope we continue this another time, Dirt.
Hey man, hey look man.
Matter of fact, I mean I could take the phone with me. It ain't nothing. It's all
No,
good.
we about to end it. We about to end it. Like man, we've already already just did and accomplished what I aim to do, and that's put a lot on people's minds. That ain't got nothing to do with my sister. My sister is in a better place. So my goal was to go through a live and just zone in on the live. That was
Well
my
done.
goal.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Well
bud.
done.
I appreciate you. Hey, you ain't met the homie. This the homie Dre. He from the Heights too.
What's up with it, Dre? Nice to meet you, bro. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
we building, man. We building, man. That's what it's all about, man.
Hey,
Until
Dre.
next time, Dirty Weather.
Hey, Dre. This the first Oak Park nigga I ever met in my life. All right, one love,
One love, blood.
gone.
In a minute.